Thank you, Allie. To get the program started tonight, I'm going to start with a crazy story. Have any of you ever done ancestry testing? You know, you order a spick kit in the mail and you get a report telling you where your family came from, and you can connect with relatives around the world. Well, I know I'm Jewish and my family came from Poland and Russia. My husband grew up in Odessa, same part of the world. I always figured we had to be 100% Ashkenazi Jewish, but we thought it'd be fun to check. So several of us got an at-home testing kit and did ancestry testing. Results, we all have mostly Ashkenazi Jewish background. Anyhow, several months later, my husband was contacted by someone in the US who did the same testing and said they were closely related. None of the family names matched. On further investigation and on pressing his 92-year-old mom for more information, it turns out that her real dad was not the man who raised her. For 57 years, my husband had no idea. Interesting, and it really threw him for a loop. Anyhow, that's one type of genetic testing. But when we talk about Jewish genetics, we need to talk about more than ancestry testing. It's important to not only know who your ancestors are, but also whether they had medical issues and whether there's a risk of medical problems developing based on the family's genetics. This involves what we call disease-related genetic testing. You may know that there are genetic diseases that are more common in Ashkenazi Jews than in other groups, like Tay-Sachs, Gaucher disease, and APBD. Diseases common in Ashkenazi Jews are also found in non-Jews, but at lower frequency. Anyhow, many of these diseases are inherited in what we call the recessive way. With recessive inheritance, two healthy parents who each carry a mutation in a particular disease gene pass it on to their child. The child who has two copies of the mutation is at risk for developing the disease. It's not unusual for a person to be a carrier. For Tay-Sachs, about 1 in 30 Ashkenazi Jews are carriers. For APBD, it's about 1 in 40. It's only a problem when both parents are carriers for the same disease, which puts each of their pregnancies at 25% risk. So where does genetic testing come in? Before any couple starts or expands their family, whether they're Jewish or not, comprehensive carrier screening is important to determine whether they're at risk for having a child with a genetic disease. This can be done through their doctor's office, through a genetic counselor, or through an online program like JScreen that offers medical grade carrier screening from home. If a couple learns that they're at increased risk, options are available to help them plan for the health of their future children. So far we've talked about ancestry testing and carrier testing. Genetic testing can also be done for diagnostic purposes. If someone has symptoms that are suggestive of a genetic condition, this type of testing may be appropriate. For example, if someone has signs of APBD, like peripheral neuropathy, bladder dysfunction, and decreased energy, they should talk to their doctor about genetic testing and other diagnostic testing. Anyhow, I hope this quick genetics lesson was helpful. In tonight's program, you'll be learning more specifically about APBD and the great work that the foundation is doing. Thank you so much and enjoy the program.